The Grand Galactic Council met in their great round hall. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in wide circles under the large glass dome. Stars shone above them as they talked about Earth joining their group. Elder Tizak of the Ashuri race stood up slowly. His blue skin was wrinkled with age, and his 4 eyes blinked nervously. The Ashuri were one of the oldest races in the galaxy. They had been traveling among stars when most other aliens were still learning to make fire. "I must speak," Elder Tizak said. His voice was soft, but carried across the hall. "We have seen these humans before." The Vraxian representative, General Carvex, laughed. His thick purple scales shimmered under the starlight. The Vraxians ruled many worlds through force. They were bigger and stronger than most aliens, with sharp teeth and powerful bodies. "The Old One speaks of ancient history," General Carvex said. "What does it matter if your kind visited Earth thousands of years ago?" Elder Tizak held up a small device. It showed moving pictures of humans from long ago. The images showed humans fighting great beasts, surviving in frozen lands, and building shelters in burning deserts. "We watched them," Elder Tizak said. "We saw how they adapt to any problem. When they cannot go around an obstacle, they go through it. When they cannot go through, they build a new path. They never stop." Another Ashuri elder stood up. "Our records show humans have something no other species has. They combine the loyalty of pack animals with the hunting skills of apex predators. They work together like hive minds, but think as individuals." The council members whispered to each other. Some looked worried. Others laughed. General Carvex stood to his full height. "These humans have not even left their own star system properly. Their technology is simple. Their worlds are rich with resources we need. The Vraxian Imperium will handle first contact. We will guide them into the galactic community." Everyone knew what the Vraxians really meant. They wanted Earth's resources. They wanted humans as workers, like the other 7 species they had already conquered. Elder Tizak shook his head. "You do not understand. Humans are not like the others. They appear weak, but they are dangerous when cornered. Our ancestors left Earth and never returned for good reason." "Enough of these old stories," said the council leader, a tall gray alien with 6 arms. "We will vote now." The vote was quick. Only the Ashuri and 2 smaller alien groups voted against contacting Earth. The Vraxians would lead the first meeting with humans. As the meeting ended, Elder Tizak approached General Carvex. "You make a terrible mistake," he said quietly. "The humans will not bow to you." General Carvex smiled, showing sharp teeth. "All species bow eventually." "Not this one," Elder Tizak said. "When you push them, they do not bend. They push back, and they keep pushing until they win." But the Vraxians had already stopped listening. They were busy planning how they would take Earth's riches. The Vraxian ship broke through Earth's clouds on a clear Tuesday morning. It was huge and shaped like a sharp tooth. It landed in the big open area in front of the United Nations building in New York City. Commander Krell of the Vraxian Imperium stood at the front of his soldiers. He was 2 heads taller than a human, with purple scales and yellow eyes with slits like a snake. He expected the humans to run away in fear or fall to their knees in worship. That's what other species did when they first saw Vraxians. But the humans did not run. They did not worship. They watched with curious eyes. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped forward from the human group. She was small compared to the aliens, but she stood straight and tall. "Welcome to Earth," she said with a calm smile. "We are honored to meet beings from another world." Commander Krell looked down at Dr. Chen. His soldiers stood behind him, holding weapons that could destroy a building with one shot. Yet this tiny human showed no fear. "We bring greetings from the Grand Galactic Council," Krell said in a loud voice. Translation devices helped the humans understand his words. "The mighty Vraxian Imperium has been chosen to guide your species into the greater community of worlds." Dr. Chen nodded politely. "We look forward to learning from you. Would you like to meet our world leaders now?" Krell was confused. Where was the panic? Where was the awe? These humans acted like they met aliens every day. From the shadows, Admiral James Ortega watched the meeting. He had fought in wars and led soldiers. He recognized the way the Vraxians stood, the way they held their weapons, the way their eyes moved over the crowd. They looked at humans the way a wolf looks at sheep. "They're predators," he whispered to his assistant. "Look at their body language." The first meeting went smoothly on the surface. The Vraxians showed off some of their technology. Lights that floated in the air, small devices that could clean dirty water, and medicine that could heal cuts instantly. Later that night, Commander Krell spoke to his officers on their ship. "These humans are even more primitive than we thought," he laughed. "They were impressed by our most basic tools. They will be easy to control." His second-in-command nodded. "How long before we start building the processing centers?" 6 of their months, Krell said. "We'll offer them some simple technology as gifts. We'll ask for mining rights on their moon as payment. Once we have a base there, we'll bring in our real weapons." What the Vraxians didn't know is that human scientists were already studying everything the aliens had shown them. In secret labs, they were taking apart the alien devices to learn how they worked. And Admiral Ortega hadn't wasted any time. "I want everything we know about these Vraxians," he told his team. "And I want plans ready in case they aren't the friends they claim to be." Dr. Chen also had her doubts. That night, she wrote in her private journal, "They think we're simple. This might be our greatest advantage." 6 months had passed since the Vraxians first landed on Earth. Papers were signed, hands were shaken, and a protective alliance was formed. The deal seemed good for humans. The Vraxians would give Earth some of their technology in exchange for mining rights on the moon and some asteroids. In the main Vraxian ship, Commander Krell laughed with his officers. "These humans are so easy to fool," he said, drinking from a cup filled with blue liquid. "They think we're giving them advanced technology. What we shared wouldn't impress a Vraxian child." His officers laughed with him. None of them noticed the small cleaning drone in the corner of the room. It looked like all the other cleaning drones, except for one thing: humans had rebuilt it. Inside the drone, tiny cameras and microphones recorded everything. The drone sent these recordings to a secret human base deep under the Rocky Mountains. In this base, Maya Okonkwo watched the aliens laugh about tricking humans. Maya had been a top spy before the aliens came. Now she led a hidden network of people who watched the Vraxians. "Send this to Admiral Ortega and Dr. Chen right away," Maya told her team. But this wasn't the worst thing Maya discovered. Later that day, her team found secret Vraxian plans. These plans showed huge buildings to be built on Mars. The buildings weren't mines. They were human processing facilities, places to turn captured humans into slaves or food. "We need more information," Maya said, "but we must be careful. If they realize we're watching them, they'll attack before we're ready." Meanwhile, Dr. Chen was working late in her office at the UN when a strange sound made her look up. An alien she had never seen before stood in the doorway. This alien was not a Vraxian. It was shorter, with blue skin and 4 eyes. "I am Zalorn of the Azuri," the alien said in a quiet voice. "I have come to warn you about the Vraxians." Dr. Chen remained calm, though her heart beat faster. "How did you get in here?" "The Azuri have technology the Vraxians don't know about," Zalorn said. "My people visited Earth long ago. We left because we saw what humans could become. We feared you then. Now, we fear for you." Zalorn placed a small crystal on Dr. Chen's desk. "This contains information about Vraxian weapons and weaknesses. It also shows how they conquered 7 other species before coming to Earth." "Why are you helping us?" Dr. Chen asked. "Because the elders warned the council not to underestimate humans," Zalorn said. "They didn't listen. The Azuri remember our history. We know what happens when humans are threatened. You don't surrender. You fight. And when you fight, you win." Zalorn looked out the window at the night sky. "The Vraxians think they're the predators here. They don't understand that they've entered the territory of a species even more determined than they are. Dr. Chen picked up the crystal. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Zilorn said. A storm is coming. Be ready for it. As Zilorn left, Dr. Chen made a secure call to Admiral Ortega. We have help, and we're going to need it. The red surface of Mars now had a new feature, a large Vraxian base. From space, it looked like a giant metal spider with legs spreading out in all directions. The Vraxians called it a mining and research facility. They'd brought huge machines that dug deep into the Martian soil. But Admiral Ortega didn't believe the Vraxians. He gathered a small team of Earth's best soldiers, led by Captain David Reyes. This is only a look-and-learn mission, Admiral Ortega told them. Get in, see what they're really doing on Mars, and get out. Don't start a fight. Captain Reyes nodded. He was tall and strong, with dark eyes that missed nothing. We'll be ghosts, sir. The team used a small ship that Maya's people had built using reverse-engineered Vraxian technology. It had a special coating that made it invisible to Vraxian scanners. They landed far from the base and drove across the red desert in darkness. The Vraxian base was busy even at night. Machines moved, lights flashed, and guards patrolled. Captain Reyes and his team used stolen Vraxian worker uniforms to slip inside. We'll split into 2 groups, Reyes whispered. Johnson and Lee, check the east side. Park and Cruz, with me to the west. As they explored, they found normal mining equipment, but then Park noticed something strange. Captain, look at these power readings, she said, pointing to her scanner. They're using way more energy than needed for mining. They followed the power lines to a hidden door. Inside was a large room filled with hundreds of glass pods, each big enough to hold a human. What is this? Cruz whispered. Captain Reyes checked a computer screen. These are stasis pods. For human specimens. They're planning to collect us like animals. Suddenly, alarms blared. A guard had spotted Johnson and Lee on the other side of the base. Time to go, Reyes ordered. They ran toward their exit, but Vraxian guards blocked the way. Laser fire erupted around them. Park fell first, hit in the chest. Then Cruz was shot in the leg. Leave me, Cruz shouted, pulling out his weapon. I'll hold them off. Captain Reyes didn't want to leave anyone behind, but more guards were coming. He grabbed Cruz's data device. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. Reyes and 2 others made it back to the ship. As they took off, they saw Cruz fighting until the Vraxians finally overwhelmed him. Back on Earth, Admiral Ortega listened to Captain Reyes' report with a grim face. We lost good people, Reyes said, his voice heavy with pain. But we got proof of what they're planning. The next day, Commander Krell demanded to meet with Earth's leaders. His purple face was dark with anger. Human saboteurs attacked our peaceful Mars base, he shouted. This is a violation of our agreement. Hand over the criminals for Vraxian justice. Dr. Chen, representing Earth, kept her face calm, though her heart raced. We will investigate these serious claims. Those responsible will face proper consequences. Later, in a secure room, Dr. Chen met with Admiral Ortega. The survivors, she asked. Safe in our underground base, he answered. But now the Vraxians know we're not as simple as they thought. Dr. Chen nodded. Then it's time to talk with Zilorn again. We need to know everything about fighting Vraxians. In public, Earth's leaders apologized to the Vraxians. They promised to find and punish the criminals who had entered the Mars base. Commander Krell seemed satisfied with their fear and obedience. But beneath this show of weakness, humans were preparing for war. Deep under the Rocky Mountains, Maya Okonkwo led a team of hackers. They had found a way into the Vraxian computer systems. What they discovered shocked even Admiral Ortega. They'd done this 7 times before, Maya explained, showing images of alien worlds. These are the Zentari, the Bluefins, the Mox, and 4 other species, all of them free once, all slaves to the Vraxians now. Admiral Ortega studied the images, and Earth is next on their list. Yes, Maya said. They plan to use Earth as their new processing center. Billions of humans would be sent to work in mines across fraction space. In another secret location, Dr. Chen met with Zalorn, the Ashuri who had helped them before. "We've been studying the crystal you gave us," Dr. Chen said. "It shows weaknesses in fraction ships. But we need to know more about the other species they conquered. Could they help us?" Zalorn nodded his blue head. "The insectoid clitic control important travel points in fraction space. They obey, but they hate their masters. I can help you contact them." While this conversation happened, Admiral Ortega visited a hidden base in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Here, humans pretended to mine rocks from space. But they were really building weapons and ships. Captain Raish showed the Admiral their progress. "We've copied their shield technology and improved it. Our weapons can now cut through Vraxian armor." Admiral Ortega nodded with approval. "How many ships do we have ready?" 50 now. 100 more within a month." "Good," the Admiral said. "The Vraxians are moving their fleet into our solar system piece by piece. They think they're being clever, bringing their forces in slowly so we won't notice." Captain Rice smiled. "But we've noticed every ship." "Yes," Admiral Ortega agreed. "And soon they'll all be here, exactly where we want them." Back on Earth, Commander Krell met with his officers in what they thought was a secure room. They didn't know about the tiny listening devices Maya's team had planted. "The humans are so stupid," Krell laughed. "They believe our lies about peaceful mining. Soon, we'll have enough ships here to take their world by force." His second-in-command asked, "When do we demand the first human tribute?" "Next week," Krell answered. "We'll ask for 10,000 humans for cultural exchange programs. Of course, they'll never see Earth again." In her control room, Maya heard everything. She sent a message to Admiral Ortega. "It's happening next week. We need to be ready." The Admiral replied, "We'll be ready. The trap is set. Let them come." Dr. Chen made her own preparations, sending secret messages to the clinic through Zalorn's contacts. "When the fighting starts," she wrote, "cut off the Vraxian supply lines. Freedom for all or freedom for none." The humans waited silently, ready to show the galaxy what happened when you cornered Earth. Commander Krell stood before the United Nations. His large purple form towered over the human leaders. His yellow eyes showed no emotion as he made his demand. "The Vraxian Imperium requires 10,000 humans for our cultural exchange program," he announced. "They will learn our ways and serve as ambassadors. This is a great honor." The UN Secretary asked for time to select volunteers. Krell's mouth formed what might have been a smile. "You have 3 days," he said. "If you cannot choose, we will choose for you." When Krell left, Admiral Ortega met with Earth's leaders in a secure room. "We can't stall much longer," he said. "Our intelligence shows they plan to take these humans to processing centers, not exchange programs." The President nodded. "How ready are we?" "As ready as we'll ever be," Admiral Ortega answered. "Maya's team has infected their computers with hidden viruses. Our ships are in position throughout the solar system. The Clitic aliens have promised to disrupt Vraxian supply lines when we give the signal. Then we wait for them to make their final mistake," the President said. They didn't wait long. When Earth asked for one more day to prepare the volunteers, Commander Krell lost his patience. The next morning, a small Vraxian ship fired a powerful weapon at a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean. The island vanished in a flash of light. Thousands died instantly. "This is what happens to those who delay," Krell announced to the world. "Bring the 10,000 humans tomorrow, or we will destroy a larger target." This was the moment humanity had been waiting for. The time for pretending was over. Admiral Ortega sent a single message to all hidden forces: "Broken arrow." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Hidden ships rose from Earth's oceans, launched from secret bases in mountains, and appeared from behind the moon. The asteroid belt came alive as minds suddenly transformed into warships. Commander Krell was in his command center when the attacks began. The screens showed Vraxian ships exploding across the solar system. "What is happening?" he roared. "How do the humans have these weapons?" His officers had no answers, only fear. In space, Captain Rice led the assault on the Vraxian fleet near Mars. "Target their engines first," he ordered his pilots. "Then weapons. We want prisoners if possible." Near Jupiter, Admiral Ortega sprung his special trap. Using technology reverse-engineered from the Vraxians' own gravity devices, he pulled several large asteroids out of their orbits. The massive rocks smashed into one-third of the incoming Vraxian reinforcements, destroying them instantly. Back on Earth, a strike team led by Maya Okonkwo attacked the Vraxian embassy. Their goal: capture high-ranking Vraxians and their computers. "Remember," Maya told her soldiers, "we need them alive and their data intact." The attack caught the Vraxians completely by surprise. They had never imagined that the simple humans could hit back so hard and so quickly. From his ship, Admiral Ortega watched the battle unfold across the solar system. "Send the message to the Klitik," he ordered. "Tell them it's time." Across Vraxian space, the insectoid Klitik received the signal. The rebellion against the Vraxian Imperium had begun, and humanity was leading the charge. News of the human rebellion spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Grand Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Hundreds of alien leaders gathered in the Great Round Hall, talking loudly about the shocking events. Elder Takara of the Ashuri stood in the center of the room. Her blue skin wrinkled with age, but her 4 eyes burned with a fierce light. "We warned you," she said, her voice carrying over the noise. "The Ashuri told this council what would happen if the Vraxians provoked the humans. We said, humans do not bow, they break or they fight." The council leader, a tall gray alien, looked troubled. "The Vraxian fleet reports heavy losses. How could primitives do this?" "Humans are not primitives," Elder Takara answered. "They evolved on a dangerous world where only the clever and adaptable survived. Their history is filled with wars and challenges. They turned these hardships into strengths." The Vraxian representative, a nervous official named Drex, jumped to his feet. "These humans are savage. They must be stopped. The council must declare them a hostile species and help us crush them." Some council members nodded in agreement. Others looked doubtful. Meanwhile, Maya's intelligence team had hacked into the council's communication system. Dr. Chen watched the meeting from a screen in her office on Earth. "It's time," she said to Zalorn, who stood beside her. "Send the evidence." Zalorn pressed a button on a small device. Suddenly, every communication channel in the galaxy showed the same images. Vraxian plans for enslaving humans, recordings of Commander Krell's boasts about conquering Earth, and videos of Vraxian ships destroying the Pacific Island. The council room erupted in chaos as the evidence played on their screens. The Vraxian representative screamed that it was all lies, but his voice was drowned out. Elder Takara spoke again. "For centuries, the Vraxians have taken world after world. They made slaves of the Zentari, the Bluefins, the Mox, and others. They came to Earth thinking humans would be their next victims. They were wrong. In another part of the galaxy, the insectoid Klitik were busy. Following the human signal, they sabotaged Vraxian supply lines, disabled communication relays, and freed prisoners from labor camps. Other enslaved species, hearing about the human resistance, began their own rebellions. Planets that had suffered under Vraxian rule for generations saw hope for the first time. Back in the council chamber, Elder Takara made an announcement. "The Ashuri have decided to break our long neutrality. We will provide humans with our most advanced defensive technology. The time of Vraxian tyranny must end." Dr. Chen sent a message to Admiral Ortega. "The council is divided. Some see us as a threat, others as liberators. The Ashuri have publicly joined our side." Admiral Ortega, directing the battle from his command ship, replied, "Good. We don't need the whole galaxy's help. We just need enough allies to break the Vraxian hold. In her secure base, Maya received reports from across Vraxian space. It's working, she told her team. The rebellion is spreading. What started as our fight for survival has become a galaxy-wide revolution. The humans had not only defended their home, they had given hope to oppressed species across the stars. The Vraxian Imperium was angry. They sent their largest battle fleet toward Earth. Hundreds of warships filled space, ready to crush the human rebellion once and for all. Admiral Ortega watched from his command ship near Jupiter. They're coming with everything they have, he told his officers, just as we planned. Captain Rice, now commanding his own ship, studied the enemy formations. They're using standard Vraxian attack patterns. They still think we're predictable primitives. Across the galaxy, the rebellion against Vraxian rule spread like fire. The Clitic, inspired by human courage, sabotaged Vraxian supply stations. The insect-like aliens used their control of key transport routes to cut off Vraxian reinforcements. On a distant moon, Maya Okonkwo met with Clitic leaders. If we coordinate our attacks, she explained, we can keep the Vraxian forces divided. The Clitic queen clicked her mandibles in agreement. For generations, we served the purple oppressors. Today we fight beside humans for freedom. Meanwhile, the Azuri kept their promise. Elder Tekera herself arrived on Earth with ships carrying advanced defensive technology. Our ancestors feared your potential, she told Dr. Chen as they watched Azuri engineers install shields around major cities. Now we see that potential was meant to free us all. The battle for Earth began in the space near Jupiter. Admiral Ortega had prepared a special welcome for the Vraxians. His ships lured them into Jupiter's strong radiation belts, where human vessels with special shielding could fight, but Vraxian sensors malfunctioned. Fire at will, Admiral Ortega ordered. Human ships attacked from all sides, using the gas giant's gravity to accelerate their movements. On Jupiter's moon Ganymede, Captain Rice led ground forces to free aliens held in Vraxian labor camps. Today you're going home, he told the surprised prisoners. The greatest moment came when Maya's team completed their most daring mission. They had secretly worked for months to understand Vraxian ship controls. Now, a small team of human hackers boarded a Vraxian dreadnought, their largest warship, and took control. We're in, Maya reported to Admiral Ortega. The weapons systems are ours. The Vraxian commander watched in horror as one of his own dreadnoughts turned and fired on his fleet. Impossible, he shouted. How could humans master our technology so quickly? The Vraxians had never faced an enemy like humans before. Other species they conquered had specific strengths and weaknesses, but humans were different. They learned, adapted, and used every advantage. The battle spread beyond the solar system as human ships, now equipped with Azuri drives, jumped to distant Vraxian strongholds. The Bluefins and Mox, hearing of human successes, rose up against their oppressors. In his command center, Admiral Ortega received a message from the Clitic Queen. The main Vraxian supply depot has fallen. Their empire begins to crumble. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Vraxians faced defeat. Their carefully built empire, founded on the subjugation of lesser species, was falling apart, all because they had ignored the Elders' warning about one species that refused to bow. The war expanded beyond Earth's solar system. Humans, now flying captured Vraxian ships, attacked enemy bases on distant worlds. Captain Rice led a fleet of 30 ships to free the Bluefins' home planet. The humans have come, cheered the Bluefins as the Vraxian overlords fled. Dr. Chen traveled to the Grand Council with a team of diplomats. Many alien species who had watched from the sidelines now wanted to join with the humans. The Azuri helped make these new friendships. We offer alliance, not domination, Dr. Chen told the council. Earth fights for freedom, for ourselves, and for all who suffer under Vraxian rule. The Vraxian leaders, facing defeat for the first time in 1,000 years, grew desperate. In a secret base, they prepared their most terrible weapon, a planet-killer missile that could destroy Earth in one strike. "If we cannot have Earth, no one will," said the Vraxian High Commander. Maya's spies learned of this plan and sent an urgent warning. "They're targeting Earth with a superweapon. Launch time in 6 hours." Admiral Ortega's fleet was the only force close enough to stop the missile. He set a course to intercept, pushing his flagship's engines beyond safe limits. "We won't reach our usual firing range in time," his second-in-command warned. Admiral Ortega nodded. "Then we'll need to get closer." The admiral understood what this meant. To save Earth, his ship would have to fly directly into the missile's path. There would be no escape for him or his crew. He called the bridge crew together. "I won't order anyone to stay. Those who wish to leave may take the escape pods." Not one person moved. "It has been my honor to serve with you," Admiral Ortega said simply. The missile launched. Admiral Ortega's ship raced to intercept it. In the final minutes, he sent a message to Earth. "Not our home. Not today. Not ever." His ship collided with the planet killer. The explosion lit up space like a new star. Earth was saved, but at a terrible cost. When the news reached Earth, Captain Rice, now promoted to admiral, vowed to honor Ortega's sacrifice. "We will end this war the way he would have wanted, with victory." The new admiral led a bold attack on the Vraxian homeworld, but he surprised everyone with his orders. Target only military bases and government buildings. Leave civilian areas untouched. His officers were confused. The Vraxians showed no mercy to their victims. "Why should we spare them?" "Because we're not like them," Rise answered. "We fight for freedom, not revenge." This decision won humans even more allies. Species that had feared humans might become the new tyrants of the galaxy now saw them as liberators. On a distant space station, Elder Tekera watched the battle reports with Zalorn. "The humans could destroy the Vraxians completely," Zalorn noted. "Yet they offer mercy." "That is why the humans will win," Elder Tekera said. "Not just the war, but the peace that follows." The Vraxian Empire, which had ruled through fear for 1,000 years, began to crumble, not just from human weapons, but from human compassion. 1 year after the Vraxians first landed on Earth, the war ended. The Vraxian leaders surrendered after Admiral Reyes captured their capital city. Their 1,000-year empire had fallen in just 1 year to a species they had thought was primitive. The Grand Galactic Council met again in their Great Hall. This time, Dr. Chen stood in the center as Earth's representative. The council leader, the tall gray alien, addressed her with respect. "Humanity has proven itself beyond all doubt," he said. "The council offers Earth full membership with special voting rights, a position no new species has ever been given before." Dr. Chen looked around the room before answering. She saw fear in some eyes, respect in others, and curiosity in many. "Earth accepts membership," she said. "We come not as conquerors, but as partners. We seek a galaxy where all species are free." The freed alien races, the Bluefins, the Mox, the Zentari, and others, formed a new alliance with humanity. They called it the Coalition of Free Worlds. Earth became its heart, not because humans demanded power, but because other species asked for their leadership. Maya Okonkwo led teams across former Vraxian space, helping planets rebuild and removing the last Vraxian control systems. Her knowledge of Vraxian technology made her the perfect person for this job. On Earth, alien visitors became a common sight. Ships from 100 worlds came to trade, learn, and share ideas. The planet that had once been alone in the universe now stood at the center of a new galactic community. Admiral Reyes oversaw the new combined fleet, ships from Earth and allied worlds that patrolled space to keep the peace. A statue of Admiral Ortega stood in front of the fleet headquarters, with his final words carved at its base. "Not our home. Not today. Not ever." In the council chambers, Elder Tekera of the Azuri sat beside Dr. Chen during an important vote. The old alien leaned over and whispered, "We warned them you were unstoppable. but perhaps even we underestimated how extraordinary humans truly are. Dr. Chen smiled. What makes us strong isn't our weapons or technology. It's our ability to work together, with each other, and with anyone who shares our values. As the meeting ended, a young Vraxian approached Dr. Chen. Unlike other Vraxians, this one's head was bowed, and his voice was quiet. "My name is Vex," he said. "I wish to ask for asylum on Earth." Dr. Chen was surprised. "Why would you want to live among those who defeated your people?" "Because I have information," Vex answered. "Some Vraxian military leaders escaped. They're gathering forces for revenge. I want to help stop them." Dr. Chen nodded. "Then welcome to Earth, Vex. Your courage honors us." As they left the council chambers, Dr. Chen looked out at the stars. New challenges waited out there, but humanity had proven itself ready for whatever came next. The species that had once been confined to one small planet now helped shape the destiny of an entire galaxy. The elders had warned them about humans. No one had listened. Now, no one would ever make that mistake again.